Welcome to Viking Preparedness. Yes, there you are. I am Pastor Joe Fox. I know I haven't made a video in a while. Thank you for those of you who contacted me to make sure I was okay and that kind of thing. Been so busy, right? We have so much to do. And sometimes, honestly, it's hard to figure out what to do now and what to put off till later. And that's not a good way to manage, quite frankly. You don't want to have everything be an emergency or everything have an immediate deadline. You want to kind of get out ahead of the curve a little bit so that you don't have to react. You can act instead of react. So we had puppies. As you will remember, we only had 3 that lived. 1, the runt, died, failed to thrive. Here we go. Here's one right here. And so their digestive functions were starting to work, and they were going to the bathroom in our house. And so that's no bueno. I know. It's getting hot out here. And so we had to get them out of this, into this kennel. And the chickens were living here. Why were the chickens living in a dog kennel? Because there's another flock up there. We got this flock a little bit early. The flock that we have now that is now all free ranging. And they needed a place to stay because we're trying to maintain separate flocks. All right, so build the chicken coop. Fine, that became a must-do so we can get the dogs out of the house. And so we're working on it still. I'm still not done, but it's functional. We've had the chickens in the coop now for a couple days. It has the people door right here, as you can see. I painted it. And then when you come in, here's a roost that we built for the chickens, and then here's the laying boxes. Now I was going to make 6 laying boxes, but somebody showed me a video on YouTube where the guy said using one just works as good. And so we're going to try that. We're going to try using just one. You know, one big one on top, one big one on the bottom. And if that doesn't work, we'll put dividers in at that time. And so I've got this door set up, hooked up. This door we just finished today. And this is the egg door, if you will. Right there, that's where the eggs will go. The chickens aren't quite laying yet. Not quite old enough. And then over here we have a chicken door that's going to go into the run that we're going to build. You know about laying down the wire. I already talked about that. And so, you know, I've got trash to pick up out here. We've got to clear this area back here to get the run going. But the emergency, if you will, of providing housing for the puppies is done. And so that's taken care of. And so then it becomes, all right, do we finish the chicken project before we do anything else so that it does get done? Or do we work a little bit on this and a little bit on that? Example, the garden. The garden got away from us a little bit, that it needed some more weeding. And there were some more onions to pull and things like that. The solar, our little temporary solar setup here, we finally got some cables for that. And so I put them in, so I have 2 batteries hooked together. There's our inverter right now. So I have more battery power to draw from. And so we work out in the garden. Now, what we're trying to do, whew, that's bright. That's our dehydrator. What we're trying to do is set up a system whereby first day, Sunday, is community day. And so we work together on community projects. We have several saints who live very close to here. And so we work at, one house one weekend, one house another weekend. And quite frankly, we haven't done that for a couple of weeks. It's been so hot and people are doing their vacations out of town and yada, yada, yada. But we're saving first day, Sunday for community day. And then what y'all call Monday, second day, we're trying to take that as a day off. We still work. We have work to do every day, but it's the day that people get to go do fun family things. My wife and I worked on the coop still on our family day this week. And then Tuesday is vehicle day. We have a vehicle, a truck that we don't use very much, maybe once or twice a month. And pack rats got into it and chewed all the wires off of it. So I've been learning how to wire a vehicle because we had a mechanic who actually were willing to pay for a mechanic to come out here. He came out here and looked at it, and he just didn't want to work on it because it was too much of a pain in the neck, so he didn't charge us. But he told me what to do, so I was working on that. Have some four-wheelers we need to get running again. And so Tuesday is vehicle day. And then Wednesday is garden day, land day, things like that. And our garden is doing okay. It's kind of like in the summer phase right now. These are what I refer to as our straightway beans back here, because we got them from Straightway. Have a couple watermelons coming up. Pole beans coming up here. I built a tripod. I thought it'd be cool to build this tripod out of natural material, and it fell over twice, and the second time it broke pole beans, and I'm like, okay, next time I build a tripod I need to do a better job. I thought I could just kind of slam it together. And so we've got this fencing up for the beans to grab onto, and that's working okay. See, this part right here is all getting away from us. Had a neighbor give us a whole bunch of pepper plants the other day, like maybe 10 more. And so I planted them in between the tomatoes here. Had to get the tomatoes caged, so we did that. More pepper plants, more tomatoes. Woo. Our onions are about done, garlic's about done, so we've been working in that. And so, time management, you know, that's Thursdays. When's firewood day? Thursdays. I tell you, it's hard to get motivated to cut, split, stack, move firewood when it's 90-something degrees outside. The good thing about living here in the Ozarks is it doesn't get that cold, right? So even in winter, it's not like brutal, and it's not like you'll die without it. So I do, quite frankly, do a lot of cutting in the winter. I have enough down dead trees that are already dry that I don't have to worry about that. We're not cutting green trees that have to be cut, split, and dried before you can use them. So we have wood, we just have to cut it and split it. Yeah, time management. Living on a homestead is a lot of work, and I think it's important to have a schedule of some kind. I think it's important, at least it is to us, to be flexible to some degree so that if something comes up, example, we had friends who recently lived right here on Shofar Mountain who moved into town because of some medical complications. They came by, so we kind of stopped what we were doing and hung out with them for a while. You know, so we have flexibility built in. Of course, Shabbat, you know, is a day of rest and worshiping the Father. And believe me, when you live like we do, we like that day of rest, complete rest. That's a wonderful thing. So yeah, time management, and I guess I'll leave you with this, and it's probably another reason actually I haven't been doing videos. I feel it in my heart, you know, I feel like you gotta push, man. You gotta get ready. Have my ducks. I have to have my personal ducks in a row. Probably a little bit more on that in a video upcoming. But for now, yes, we're alive. We're working. We're trying to keep a lid on it. And yeah, stay tuned for more. All right. I'll see you out there.